I want to go to South America.
Listen, Robert, going to another country doesn't make a difference. I've tried all that. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. There's nothing to that.
But you've never been to South America.
South America, hell. If you went there the way you feel now, it would be exactly the same. Why don't you start living your life in Paris?
I'm sick of Paris. I'm sick of the quarter.
Stay away from the quarter. Cruise around by yourself and see what happens to you.
Nothing happens to me. I walk alone one night, and nothing happens except the bicycle cop stopped me asking to see my papers.
Wasn't the town nice at night?
I don't care for Paris.
Well, I've got to go upstairs and get off some cables.
Do you really have to go?
Yes, I've got to get these cables off.
Do you mind if I come up and sit around the office?
No, come on up.
Now watch how Jake behaves in Spain. He's like a whole new man.
The bullfight on the second day was much better than on the first. Brett sat between Mike and me at the barrera, and Bill and Cone went up above. Romero was the whole show. The bullfight on the second day was much better than on the first. Brett sat between Mike and me at the barrera, and Bill and Cone went up above. Romero was the whole show. I do not think Brett saw any other bullfighter. No one else did either, except the hard-shell technicians. It was all Romero. There were 2 other matadors, but they didn't count. I sat beside Brett and explained to Brett what it was all about. I told her about watching the bulls, not the horse. When the bulls charged the picadors and got her to watching the picador place the point of his pick so that she saw what it was all about, it became something way cooler with a definite end, and less of a spectacle with unexplained horrors. I had her watch how Romero took the bull away from a fallen horse with his cape, and how he held him with the cape, and turned him smoothly and suavely, never wasting the bull. She saw how Romero avoided every brisk movement, and saved his bulls for the last when he wanted them, not winded and discomposed, but smoothly worn down. She saw how close Romero always worked the bull, and I pointed out to her the tricks that other bullfighters used to make it look as though they were working closely. She saw why she liked Romero's cape work, and why she did not like the others.
With the change in setting also came a great change in Jake. In Paris, Jake didn't care too much about anything. His work was meaningless to him, he was unsympathetic to his friend's problem, and he plotted the best way to get rid of his friends. In Spain, he becomes a completely different person. Suddenly, he's taking an interest in life and can admire the beauty and grace of the bullfighters. Another change is that instead of Brett telling Jake what to do, Jake is the knowledgeable one and is telling Brett what to look for. Even the seemingly small change is huge for Jake, and it gives hope that he is not completely lost yet.
Oh, okay, so I see that Jake has given up on nearly everything in his life. I now understand how many people like Jake and Susie can feel the way they do. But aren't there happy people in the world too? What do they do that's so different? Wait.
Romero never made any contortions. Always it was straight and pure and natural in line. The others twisted themselves like corkscrews, their elbows raised and leaned against the flanks of the bull after his horns had passed, to give a faked look of danger. Afterward, all that was fake turned bad and gave an unpleasant feeling. Romero's bullfighting gave real emotion, because he kept the absolute purity of line in his movements, and always quietly and calmly let the horns pass him closely each time. He did not have to emphasize his closeness. Brett saw that something that was beautiful done close to the bull was ridiculous if it were done a little way off. I told her how since the death of Joselito, all the bullfighters had been developing a technique that had simulated this appearance of danger in order to give a fake emotional feeling, while the bullfighter was really safe. Romero had the old thing, the holding of his purity of line through the maximum of exposure, while he dominated the bull by making him realize he was unattainable, while he prepared him for the killing.
So you see, the way to have a meaningful life, Susie, is to find something you love and stick with it. Sometimes it will be hard, and people will try to show you the easy way out, but by staying true to who you are and working through life's obstacles, instead of avoiding them, you can lead a happy, fulfilling life. No matter how hard it gets, remember that the sun always rises. That's how one keeps their purpose in life.
That was a great story, Bob. I have one more question. Are there any other books that talk about this sort of situation?
Why don't we ask our computer for that one? She knows all about the books of the world.
Well, Junior, The Catcher in the Rye and The Merchant of Venice, as well as the essay Pamplona in July, all deal with similar topics as the story of Jake. Does that help you? And Bob, I have some advice for you. Take a spoonful of peanut butter and that'll take the hiccups right away.
It sure does. Thanks, computer. Thanks, Bob. Bye, kids.
Bye, everyone.
If my lips ever left my mouth, packed a bag and headed south, that'd be too bad. I'd be so sad.
I see, that'd be too bad. You'd be so sad.
That'd be too bad.
Alrighty.
If my lips said adios, I don't like you, I think you're gross, that'd be too bad. I might get mad.
That'd be too bad. You might get mad.
That'd be too bad.
Fascinating.
When I was just 2 years old, I left my lips out in the cold and they turned blue. What could I do?
Oh dear. They turned blue. What could you do?
Oh, they turned blue.
I see.
On the day I got my tooth, I had to kiss my great Aunt Ruth. She had a beard, and it felt weird.
My, she had a beard and it felt weird.
She had a beard.
Oh.
10 days after I turned 8, got my lips stuck in a gate. My friends all laughed, and I just stood there until the fire department came and broke the lock with the crowbar, and I had to spend the next 6 weeks in lip rehab with this kid named Oscar who got stung by a bee right on the lip, and we couldn't even talk to each other until the 5th week because both of our lips were so swollen, and when he did start speaking, he just spoke Polish, and I only knew like 3 words in Polish, except now I know 4 because Oscar taught me the word for lip. Usta.
Your friends all laughed. Usta. How do you spell that?
I don't know.
All right.